Alright, welcome back everybody. It's been a while since I've uploaded any videos. There just hasn't been many tournaments. However, there's been some tournaments taking place on the fish server by this guy or group named HoSic. That's probably a group, but whatever the case. They hold tournaments. So HoSic is now and forever will be known as they. They hold tournaments, and I guess they do it fairly regularly. Maybe they do it as the off season for filler. To get from one tournament to the next. And this tournament actually has 8 participants. There's 3 Protoss, 3 Terran, and 2 Zerg. We've got Shuttle, Jaehoon, Lucifer, Mind, Hwasin, Iris, herO, and ZvP. The Rhymers. So Hwasin, if you guys remember, was, I believe, part of the match-fixing scandal epidemic that we had years ago at the end of Brood War. The original end of Brood War. It's not over anymore, apparently, but you know, at one point it was kind of over. So we'll just call it the end of Brood War. And now they're back. Now they are. He wrote an apology letter. I'm not going to read it to you. It's somewhere on Team Liquid. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can look it up real quick. Hwasin apology letter. Hwasin's apology letter. Oh. This is from 2010. Never mind. I thought he wrote something new, though. And anyway, he's playing again. So it's not like this is for huge money or anything. And I can't imagine people still bet on it. But you never know. And he certainly gave himself a bad name at the very least for doing so. So anyway, we are watching this. They are apparently playing on what appears to be Circuit Breaker. I didn't actually look to see what the map pool is. Looks like we do have Circuit Breaker, La Mancha, Fighting Spirit, Match Point, and New Sniper Ridge. That's for the quarterfinals, which is what we're in, because there are 4 sets of games going on. Obviously, if it's 8-player, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Semifinals, it changes up a little bit to Fighting Spirit, New Bloody Ridge, Tau Cross, Neo Electric Circuit, and Fighting Spirit again. I don't know why they listed it twice. And then the finals has pretty much all of that as an option. But only Fighting Spirit once, so worth mentioning, I guess. So anyway, this one is being played on Circuit Breaker. I'm not sure how the maps are chosen or anything. Looks like everything is best of 5, actually, instead of best of 3 for the semifinals and the quarterfinals. And then the finals is a best of 7, which makes sense. It's almost always a best of 7. So at some point I should probably get into this game and talk to you guys about it a little bit. But we've got ZvP versus Lucifer, and ZvP is obviously the Zerg player, yellow, starting in the bottom left. And I probably should have introduced him about, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. And he's going up against Lucifer, the Protoss, in the bottom right. I feel like I should move my cam actually real quick. Let me get this out of the way a bit. I figured I'd move it. It's been a while. There we go. You don't need to see the toilet, do you? Alrighty. And let's get right back to it. So, for those of you who don't, well, there's still no action here. We can talk about it a little bit, but it's fairly standard Forge Fast Expand. Building up his tech, it looks like he's going to go for the Corsair build, at the very least. Zerg's on 3 bases, and we'll have to see if he decides to go Muta or Hydra. Or he could just go a crazy Ling Rush, I guess. But he's got the lair going, so I would assume some sort of tech coming out of that tree. But while we wait for it to actually... That was surprising. That must be HoSic. Maybe it's not a they. Maybe it's a he. But now, while there's still no action, for those of you who like following the stream and getting updates, definitely follow me on Twitter. I'll put it on the YouTube video below. And I have a Facebook page that I update fairly frequently for when I post or plan on streaming. And also if I have a stream schedule that I try to follow with Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No Sunday. Friday, Saturday, so about 4 days. But the past week I haven't streamed anything but this Saturday, and I basically did the same thing last week just because there wasn't much content. Now there is. I'll be busy again. So you'll get updates there if I decide that for some reason I'm not going to be streaming or something came up. you know, I got kids, so every once in a while I got to go to like weird daycare stuff that, whatever. So updates will be there and on Twitter, both of them. So follow along if you're interested. If not, that's cool too, man. Alright, so anyway, it looks like Lucifer is going to get his scout on. He's going to see exactly what's going on. He's going up against Speedlings. He will see a Spire coming out. It's possible for Muta, but with the 3 hatches, I'm actually thinking he's going to go Scourge. But we have a few moments to find out. And it looks like Lucifer is going to opt to go the DT route, so trying to make use of that synergy with the Corsair and taking out the Overlords. Fairly common, nothing too surprising there. And the Overlords are, there's a couple that are out and about that might be able to be picked off, but overall, I don't foresee him doing a ton of damage with the single Corsair when we know the Spire is about done, if not done. So he might get one. There's the Spire. Scourge are probably popping out right there, and they are. And this Overlord actually won't even get killed. The single Corsair is... Will he catch it? Oh, wow, he was on top of it. I didn't think he was going to actually have that reaction. I'm impressed. So Lucifer is paying attention. It's like, I'm not losing to Corsair. I know the timing. I saw when your Spire was going to be done. And Zero's like, damn it! My Scourge are going across the entire map. And they're not going to accomplish anything. And additionally, Lucifer opts to put a little bit of pressure on, forcing a couple of Sunkets to go down in preparation for a Zealot attack. That is not meant to be, and is not going to happen. But certainly you always want to force the expenditure of resources on that versus other more scary units, I guess. I mean, it can allow him to take a quicker fourth if he doesn't have to do that, things like that. So always you want to try to force that pressure where you can. And now he is actually pushing out legitimately with a couple of Corsair, 3 or 4 Zealots, and 1 or 2 DTs. Speed's about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way done. And it looks like at this point, a couple of Corsair are going to try to take out the Overlords here before they can actually scout anything out. And it looks like he is going to get one. The other one is going to go down pretty quickly. There are no Scourge in the area, but it is enough. They are able to see one of the DT. Scourge now come in. He's got an Evolution Chamber on the way. And I think he's going to be able to save pretty much all of these units just by simple stalling. The Overlord is going to spot this, though. And that DT is not long for ire, as he is stuck in a corner. And really there's no way out without getting spotted by Overlords and getting hit by Sunkens. Unless all of a sudden the Corsair number spikes dramatically, which it's clearly not doing. Clearly. So Zero is in a really good spot here. You can see Lucifer is feeling pressure to put that next base down, get that third going. And this is typically where we see Protoss make it or break it. If he can't get that going, he's dead in the water. Not going to make it through. Think about the tournament. People on Liquipedia might help you. So what Mr. Algo is suggesting that I do a tournament for Brood War. But, wow, it just sounds like so much work. I mean, if anyone's interested in helping out with something like that, we can talk about doing it. I'd be happy to cast it. I just hate organizing stuff these days because I don't have the same amount of time that I used to. Actually, I'm actually quitting my job tomorrow. No, Monday. Whatever. Today's Saturday. But Monday. So that'll be fun. Kind of looking forward to it. I'm not going to do a stylish, like, half-baked F you, you're cool, I'm out type quit. I worked at Lowe's once for a while. For a while being maybe 2 months. And that was probably my flashiest quit of all time, where I just stopped going. I remember just walking out one day and I never walked back in, at least not as a employee, maybe as a customer a few times. But this is like a real job. The Lowe's job was, I don't even remember why I did it. I was bored. I'm like, I'll get a part-time job, and that was a terrible decision because it just eats into your free time dramatically, and work is not free time. Although I did have fun, to be honest, surprisingly. Make the best of anything, right? Anyway, we've got a significant force in Muta at this point. They are heading across the map. We do know there's at least 1 or 2 Archons It looks like, I can't tell it. This is cool. I like the overlays he's doing. So we've got 53 drones to 49 probes. We've got 8 mutas. I thought it was 13, but that was the overlords. We've got 8 muta, and we've got 9 Corsairs. So at the moment, the Corsairs are looking pretty strong. I mean, they should be able to take out Scourge really easily. One-shot the hell out of him. And Muta will go down quite quickly as well. And it looks like he's going to use this group to go put pressure and relieve pressure on his base at the same time from those Muta and Scourge. Now, it looks like they're going to opt to try to poke around the front door instead. A lot of Hydras out on the field. Corsairs are dropping those Overlords like nobody's business, and he looks like he only lost 1 Corsair as a result. So that's not too bad. And that's going to be it, actually, for Lucifer. He's going to head back to his base and try to deal with these Muta and Scourge that are just kind of attempting to run through his base. And they've got a couple of probe kills here and there, but not a big deal, honestly. I mean, no lasting damage there. That's going to be real easy to supplement and reinforce. I apologize if I sound quiet. I am incredibly hungover today. I had friends over last night, and I actually used a bar for like the first time in, I don't know, 2 years. I never used it. We played a lot of video games. I could actually show you, well, there's nothing going on. The video game setup over there, you can see all the systems. Yeah, it was, this is what nerds do when they get old. They have video game nights. It was fun, though. Anyway, it looks like a couple more Corsair are getting caught up in the crossfire from these Muta and Hydras as they run around. And Zero's got a really big force here at this point, heading over to the base of Lucifer. And Lucifer is that his food count? I didn't even realize. I think we can see his food count. I wish they didn't have that big banner up top. And we do have a big skirmish coming on here. I don't know if this is an all-out battle yet, but they're in position. It looks like it is going to be an all-out battle. We've got Hydras in position on the high ground. Templar are coming in from the back end of the Protoss force. He's trying to drop some storms and push them back, but it looks like he is going to lose both of them. He does get a pretty decent storm off with the second one, but not the best usage of Templar, and that in itself could be game if he had more storms that he wasn't able to unleash. And he's going to lose, I mean, in small numbers, Hydras will just outclass Dragoons like it's nobody's business. They have a nice fast attack rate, and Dragoons are clumsier. I mean, both units can be clumsy, but I would say they're clumsier. And just look at the pressure streaming across the map for Zero. He's given 0 Fs. Wait all day to say that one. And he's just going to collapse on that third base. It looks like he's going to be able to take out everything. There are a couple of Zealots here trying to clean up the rest of these Hydras with the help of the Dragoons in the back, but even Minimal Micro is able to take out the rest of those before he focuses down that Nexus and the mining probes. And with that, we have a GG in game number 1 from Lucifer. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time. I'm not going to take any breaks here between matches. What I will wait to see, though, is maybe it'll go automatically into the next game. That'd be cool. That would be cool. So Mithra is 0, by the way, if you didn't know. And this guy's awesome, by the way. I love his glasses. I don't wear glasses, though. I don't have bad eyes. Bad eyesight. I don't want Call of... What the... How does this work? Alright. So that was game number 1. Game number 2 should be this game. Thank you, Connor5620. Alright. Are we on game 2? It looks like we're on game 2. Yeah, because it's 1-0. And here we go! No breaks. No breaks for you. Right into the next game. Oh, we can even see what map they're playing. I can't recreate it. I have no idea what map there is. It reminds me of the guy that was praying next to the ass cracks at the Magic tournament when he does that, like... Oh no, that wasn't his face. It was more like... I can't do it. I don't have the same bodily structure that guy did to pull it off, I think. All right, so Lucifer's down 1-0 at this point. He's really got to pull something out to try to get back into this. It looks like they're playing on La Mancha. La Mancha, La Mancha. I don't know what he's reading. Can't be that important. And they don't want to start this game for some reason. They're just teasing us. Oh, that must be a schedule there of who's playing for the BJ Star League. Maybe? Not really sure. I saw BJ there. Why does it look so dark? Is it just me? Looks like the camera's dark. Alright guys, come on. Let's do this. I'd be the guy hitting like go 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 and chat the whole time. I guess that's not really appropriate though in a tournament setting that's being casted. Alright. On to game number 2 on La Mancha. This time we'll give the players a proper introduction. On the fish server, on La Mancha, in the top left, we have ZvP in yellow, which is another StarCraft Zerg player for that matter, yellow. In the top left, did I say top left already? I might have. And he's facing up against the Protoss Terror, Lucifer himself, the Angel of Death, or the Fallen Angel, I guess. I don't know. I never really got into that stuff that much. But Lucifer is down 1 game at this point, and he's got to be able to find something to turn it around quickly. As we've seen, whoa, we've got a proxy something or other going on here. But as we've seen in the early stages, or every game we've casted actually, of ZvP, that Zerg typically have been winning out at the highest level. I can only think of a couple of games where Protoss were winning out, and they are few and far between. So it's an uphill race, definitely for Lucifer. But he is a pretty solid Protoss player. He was one of those guys that you would hear stories about how he was like one of the best practice partners out there, kind of like Magma. But he never posted fantastic results. Oh, alright, that was a regular build actually. My bad. And we have a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I think it's a 9 pool. It's got to be a 9 pool. Going down for the Zerg player. Yeah, it is a 9 pool. He is scouting in the correct direction instantaneously. So there might be some early pressure put on here from the Zerg. Now this is interesting. This is really risky for Lucifer. He took a gamble here. He threw down a gateway instead of a forge. He doesn't have a Nexus going though yet, so he's not in trouble per se. And he is going to see potentially a bluff. It is a bluff of drones. That's interesting. That is interesting. So what is Lucifer's response going to be? Well, he's making a zealot, which I believe is the right thing to do no matter what the case pops out there. I mean, he obviously opted to go for the gateway over a forge, so it's expected that he would make something. And if he isn't able to put sufficient pressure on here, he will find himself behind right away, basically. And he's going for what appears to be a second gateway, based on the position of the probe anyway. We'll see where he decides to actually build, though. We do have some Lings coming out on the field at this point. That is going to get scouted. There will be a total of 4 of them. A second Zealot is on the way. There is not a second gateway being built yet. My nose is incredibly itchy today. There is a second Zealot. Is there a third one on the way? And we do have a third base on the way. So Zero's being a bit greedy here in the face of pressure from Lucifer. But Lucifer, right after that, decides to go for the Nexus. And I'm not a big fan of this build, to be honest. It feels risky for exactly this reason. Run buys from Zerglings. And I think this is going to get spotted and exploited by Zero if he's got half a brain, which I would imagine he does. Especially if he's got speed on the way, he's going to be able to harass the hell out of him. And Zealots are slow, man. I mean, yeah, they'll get a couple of shots here and there on the Lings and eventually take one out or two. But look at that. I mean, they can't even get the one running by. And he's just free to pop out probes here. And the probes are forced to stop mining really early on. That's a pretty big hit when you look at the economy of the Zerg player being fairly uninterrupted. Well, really completely uninterrupted. Forge is going down at this point, but I think as they're pointing out, there might be an opportunity for a run by there. Pylon in the back may actually go down because the Zealot is being an idiot and can't make his way around to... oh, genius. I didn't even know he could fit between there. And the first probe goes down, at least the first one anyway, maybe the second one. So 3 Lings just wreaking havoc inside the base right now. Incredible. That's not me dropping frames, by the way. See, we're good. It's whatever we were watching was lagging at some point. One Zealot is out to put pressure on the third base. Really, it was just a scouting Zealot more than anything. And Link's still in the main base, continuing to pick on the probes that are attempting to be hard workers and day laborers out in the minefields. The minefields. I guess they're crystal fields, right? Or mineral fields. What the hell is wrong with me today? I told you I was hungover. That Ling is going to kill that pylon. That's ridiculous. Alright, so 18 drones versus... Oh, we got 23 probes, 12 Zerglings, 4 Zealots. You can do a lot with 12 Zerglings if you can break through here. He might be able to pick off that Forge, actually. We'll see. And a Spire on the way. Here's the other problem with the Zealots. They become useless so quickly without any additional support tech. I mean, eventually they'll be useful. Oh, no! Oh, no! He's leaving himself wide open for a run-by Speedlings. They're going to get a full surround on that cannon and take it out before it can do anything but take out maybe 1 or 2 Zerglings here. And on top of that, they're able to get a free Zealot. And GG! GG from Lucifer real quick in game number 2. And one more game and he's out. That's incredible. It's not going well for him right now. Not looking to be in very good shape here. Alright, so game number 3. I hope you guys aren't like paying too close attention to like the game list over there. Because if you are, you'll probably spoil it for yourselves. I'm not looking at it personally. I'm just trying to find the next game. So, game number 3. Here we go. 2-0 for ZeRO. And it looks like they're playing the next map on 397. What are we listening to here? I love how he's got like a fancy shirt on, and then he just shows that he's in like exercise shorts, basketball shorts. Nice. That's how the real professionals do it, by the way. Is that the TiVo thing? What is that? Oh, it's the Africa thing. That's what it is. Duh, it's right there. See it in the bottom right. My bad. Alrighty. Oh, I gotta update my title on the stream, by the way. Let me do that real quick. HoSic English Cast off VODs. I replaced my keycaps on my DAS keyboard. You guys want to see it? It's a lot of work. Taste the rainbow. Isn't that beautiful? It doesn't really fit completely on screen at once. I guess it does if I do that.
You must construct
Malvilla is following the pub. Hey man, cheers to you. I'm not drinking beer tonight, but cheers regardless. Thank you for following the pub. I hope you enjoy your stay. Good to have you here. Good to have you aboard. We're on game number 3 here, guys. About to get started as soon as they actually load things up. Go, 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 go. D&D, everybody. D&D. Do not disturb me. Actually, it would be disturbu. Alrighty, we got 2 red players for some reason. Actually, they're blue and brown. There we go. Yellow and red. Alright, so this is game number 3. In the bottom left, we have ZeRO. Excuse me. Our Zerg player who is just destroying Lucifer, who coincidentally is the Protoss player right here in the bottom right. And this appears to be Fighting Spirit. Let me do another quick map pool check here as we get started. I believe I can fly. It is probably Fighting Spirit. I can't imagine it's not. I should know better at a glance, though. Whoops, sorry, paused it. Otherwise, you've got to look at the little bar on the bottom the whole time. Don't want to do that to you guys. All right, so that probe is heading out, trying to get some scouting information. Once again, going for that Forge Fast Expand build, or hopefully it's the Forge Fast Expand build, because that gateway into Forge Slow Expand build was painful to watch and got picked apart like nobody's business. It was ridiculous. And early on, we got 9 drones and 9 probes. Fairly even game from the start, I guess. All that really shows is there's no cheese going on right now. We have at the very least an overpool, but more likely, he's going to go for fast expansion, as is fairly standard. Although last game he did opt for the pool first, so you know. That's the beauty of playing this game. You got so many options. Not too much to talk about for a while here. I think we've got fairly standard scout as much as you can and get as much information as you can. He is going to see, because of the Forge Fast, or because of the Hatchery Fast Expand, he is able to go straight to that Nexus, of course, before making that Forge. There's just no risk of anything, considering there is no spawning pool. So that's the importance of scouting, actually, because if he didn't know, he wouldn't actually be able to do that. He'd have to put a Forge down first. And it looks like ZvP is going for the same build again, with the third base in the top left. And this guy didn't take his own advice. He didn't D&D himself. Classic mistake. Classic HoSic. Oh, we might have a cannon go on here. I wonder if this is spotted actually by the hatchery. I think it's just outside the range of what he can see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if he can see it. I don't think he can see it. He might just see the edge and be able to hear it. And that could be enough to... I mean, he's hoping that he doesn't cancel it and can't defend it, because I think he can fairly much block it off entirely. And now he should be able to see that, I would think. This is what I miss about the V button in StarCraft 2 versus Brood Warcast. It's really awesome to understand Fog of War from each player. He can do it, but he has to go into the ally screen to do it. And, oh no! Oh, what's going to finish first? I think it's going to be the hatchery. And that's exactly what he needs, otherwise he won't cancel it. He does! Beautiful timing with that cannon. And that's going to be a pure loss of that. There's no way he's going to be able to defend that in the next, like, 10 minutes. So that hatchery is going down. So Lucifer might actually put himself in a position to win a game against ZvP. Although he's still got a long way to go. It's still early on. Losing a hatchery isn't a game ender. But it certainly is a momentum swinger. And you know how much we love swingers. Cannon is just about done. It looks like the Lings are going to get inside the base, though, before anything else can go up. They're going to get blocked at the ramp. They are going to get some probes, though. And by getting on the ramp, they're able to actually take out a probe. Hold on one second. I'm getting messages. All right. So, Lair almost done here. We'll see if he goes for the Hydra Tech, Lurker Tech, or Muta. Now, what's interesting here is he has lost that hatchery. He's decided to rebuild in the top left, and it'd be really awesome if Lucifer decided to chase that down and do the same exact thing. I don't foresee that being the case. But what's cool is you can see how much ZvP really loves to have that third base. I mean, it just affords him so much economy and production capability, and I think it helps divide the pressure fairly well from the Protoss. And when the Protoss goes after one of the two bases, if he can get a Nidus in there, he can actually go. He can get his forces out from behind it, and then get behind the Protoss attack and pincer him, which is I mean, that's the benefit of the Zerg, really. In general, the race is fast. All of their units are quick. Even slow Zerglings are arguably... Yeah, they're not fast, actually. They're pretty slow. But once they get the upgrades, they have a lot of speed upgrades. So it really lends itself, the race lends itself to this type of play, I think, which works out well. Anyway, it looks like we've got a fairly standard Corsair build here coming out from Lucifer. Good map pressure or presence here for the Zerg as he just goes and scouts around the entire map. I love watching the scouting as they just uncover the blackness. It's very oddly satisfying, but whatever. He is going to send some drones up to the top left here and get to mining right away. And that's going to buff up his economy once they start actually kicking in, obviously. I don't know. I would assume those are new drones that he was making and not necessarily anything from existing mining bases. Now, I'm curious if he'll make a fourth right away or if he'll wait until he can build base and defense it. Zealot's trying to get a couple of free kills here, and they do. Zerglings, unfortunately, are getting taken care of. Raid style. That Hornet spray. You ever see that Hornet spray that shoots like 20 feet? Seems like such a dangerous thing to sell. It's basically mace, I think. I feel like it would kill a human too if you like sprayed it at him. But it is nice because nobody wants to actually approach hornets or yellow jackets or wasps or whatever. So spraying from 20 feet away is kind of a secure feeling there. Alright, so we're going to see Hydras popping out. Only Scourge out on the field at this point from an air standpoint. Which is fine. I think that's all he really needs. Move my chair a bit here. Get into position. And another Corsair out on the way. So something was just getting shot. Probably some Scourge running through. It looks like that's what it was. And that fourth base is not yet up and running. And not yet even on the way. I would have thought he would have gotten that going now. But it looks like instead, Zero's going for pressure. So he's going Hydra at this point. He's not going to focus on Lurkers for a bit, it seems. And he may just try to pick off that the front set of buildings and break through that front door. There are 14 Hydras out on the field, 8 Zealots and 1 Dragoon for the Protoss. A couple of Zerglings as well. Up to 20 Hydras. Starting to get scary. There's no storm, so this timing could be really strong if he decides to move out soon. We do have speed for the Zealots, so that is helpful. However, they're not going to be able to really get through this building maze that he's got going here. Really, it's just a pretty decent setup to funnel them in. And they're surrounding a sunken colony. And now it looks like Zero is debating moving out. We do have our first DT out on the field. And Hydras are starting to move across the map. I don't know if there are any Overlords in position to support this or not. There's some sort of flying unit in the bottom side of the screen. It looks like it is an Overlord. As it moves slowly into position. No! Yes, it is an Overlord. I think. They don't actually show it. Maybe it's not an Overlord. Whatever. He is going to attack with the Hydra, though. And he does have Overlord speed now. Okay, so that's good. And the Hydra are also able to defend back at home against the Overlord clump against the 4 or 5 Corsairs. And the pressure continues up front. And he is going to be able to, at the very least, take down a gateway, I would think. He should be able to pick off those cannons. Those cannons are merely there to buy time. And he does exactly that. He's going to focus down the first one, the second one, third one. Storm is ready, though. And that's going to push him back. And the cannons have performed their duty and bought said time. Time is bought. Time is money. And it was enough to get the storm technology completed. And you can see it's still at 25 Hydra, though, which is pretty significant. We're at 5 High Templar, 1 D Templar. I don't know if that was funny. To me. But really, the story here is the same as always. The Protoss is on 2 bases. The Zerg's on 3. The Zerg has the flexibility to move to a 4th at any time. He's on 34 Hydras, so he's about to fill up that 3rd control group, and I think he just did that. And that's going to really probably be something he wants to move in on soon. The only thing is, it's hard to push down that with Hydra if there are a lot of Templar, and it looks like there are. He is now going to clear out those couple of cannons and maybe start taking that 4th base. Looks like he's actually going to go to 4 and 5 bases potentially, as he's got something in position at that 4th location under the 3rd base that he took, that natural base. And he does. He drops the hatchery right there. So he's just preparing for that 5th base. It's not on the way quite yet, though. And Hydra's once again going to start pressuring the front door. There are some Zealots, a significant force of Zealots. Looks like a full control group. But they are going to be picked off fairly quickly and fairly easily from these Hydras with minimal micro. Again, I think that's the second time we've run into that scenario. And Storm is out on the field and hitting some Hydra and gets a couple of kills there. Not the most effective Storms I've ever seen, but we've got a lot of Hydras in the red. So that's obviously helpful. DT hanging out at the top base, looking for an opening. Looking for an opening there, but I don't think he's going to find one with the Overlords that we've seen. And he is going to get pushed back. We do have Lurkers down at this point, but they run just haphazardly into the middle of a Dragoon force, and that's going to force them back. But I don't think we've seen Observers yet. We haven't had a really good look at the inside of the Protoss base in a while either, so certainly there could be Observers on the way. Good Storm there. Takes out a whole bunch of... Oh, another beautiful Storm, actually. Forces him in versus out. That can be good. I don't know. That's really what he wants. But he is going to be able to clear out the vast majority of that Hydra force. And here's the problem. He's not getting that 3rd down, and he's not even able to head out to defend it for a little bit here. So he's going to be stalled on getting his 3rd, while Zerg is up to 4 and ready to consider 5 at any moment. Ready to. But he's heading out. Now, where is the Observer? Does he even have a robo? There's the robo. Where's the observatory? Where's the Tory? I don't see it. I would assume it's somewhere. That DT, that was a weird maneuver there. He morphed the Hydra into an egg to try to absorb the shot a little bit better, but canceled, and I can't imagine that's worth it. That's got to cost the same amount of gas that a Hydra costs. Maybe it doesn't. I thought you lost a 3rd, though, when you canceled, which would be 33 gas versus the 25 for a Hydra. Seems silly. That's okay. He was being fancy. I like fancy guys. Zero's a fancy guy. All right, we got a big force heading out to the middle here once again. Zerg back to putting pressure on, it looks like. Protoss trying to move out and hopefully secure a 3rd base. Looks like this time he may be going for the 3 o'clock location instead of the 12, or the 6, I should say. And moving up the right side of the map, which I think is a better option in general. And he's building something there. And it looks like Protoss is looking to put the pressure on instead this time. He knows he needs to make something happen. He's down a base here. He's actually down 2 bases. Problem is he's going to be pushing into 68 Hydras and 4 Lurkers. And I don't think that's going to work out too well for him unless he has magnificent Storms. And he's got a couple of good ones, but they're not perfect. They are really not perfect. He is going to take out a lot of units, but this could be it right here. He is going to be cleaned up, and even these Archons are going to be taken out before they can morph in. And that's unfortunate. Loses another Templar. Massive resources lost in that battle, in that exchange for the Protoss player. And now he's going to lose that 3 o'clock base on top of everything else. He'll get a whopping free Overlord for his troubles. But you know as well as I do that that is not going to be what gets him back into this game. He's got to make some moves here, and that's not what I was talking about. Running a whole bunch of Zealots straight into Lurkers also probably not going to be that effective overall. Good Storm there. Might be able to get a couple of the Lurkers. Most of them are cleaned up. And GG coming for Lucifer, who gets shut down and shut out by 0. 3-0. All right, then. I don't want to watch this Call of Duty bullshit. Leave me alone. Alrighty, so that's going to be it for 0 versus the Dude Ski. And we'll move on to herO versus Shuttle. Alright, so you got another ZvP series here. Can't complain. I kind of like ZvPs. Hopefully you guys do too, because that's what we're watching. We're going to do them in order. I don't know how much we'll cast of this today. We do have the entire... Let me turn this down a little bit. Should probably turn it down over here. Good music, by the way. Oh, Superman's back out. I don't know how many of these games we'll cast. We'll probably do this full series. and I'll see how I feel after that, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm incredibly hungover. I gotta update that follower account, man. After Milli Vanilli followed the pub. It wasn't Milli Vanilli, what was it? It was Milla Villa, right? It's almost the same thing. Oh, it was Malvilla. I was close. Or Malevilla. I never know how people like want their name said, and I'm a victim of it too with the worst name ever, SC2 GG Rise. Everybody's like, "Hey, SC2, what's going on, man?" I'm like, "No, it's not my name. What's up, GG Rise or Grise?" I'm like, "No, that's not it either." Oh, it's so much easier. You want to hear a funny story? It's not funny at all, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. Well, actually, let's introduce the players. We've got herO here in the bottom right, and they are playing on Circuit Breaker, going up against Shuttle of Protoss in red in the top right. No shenanigans going down quite yet. It looks like we're going to see the Forge Fast expand-ish type of build. We'll see how he opts to go. He isn't going to get an insta-scout on the Zerg to feel out his build. And Zerg is scouting in the right direction. So far things are looking good for the Zerg player. You can see that he did the mineral check there without actually running all the way into the base. Just click on that mineral and see if it says 1500 or less. And if it does say less, then you know that someone's mining there. And there's a base there. And you would see creep for that matter, because the creep extends beyond the mineral field. So there's two things that he can look for. Alright, so back to my non-funny story. I actually had, you know, I think you guys are probably older than a lot of like the Twitch crowd in general, because if you're watching Brood War, you probably played it in the 90s or early 2000s. So maybe if you were around then, you would have been around for AOL and America Online. Hello, goodbye. Uh-oh. Oh, that was a stream. Alright, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. That was actually what they were stream capturing here. But yeah, I actually had Rise was my name on AOL. The 4-letter name. There were some maybe malpractices that went into obtaining that name. Not the most legitimate of ways, I'm sure. I don't think I can actually... I think it would be dumb to talk about that for some reason. So I won't give you the real detail behind it, but... I did have that name for a while, and the problem is you can put a lot of effort into getting a name like that, but the problem is those short names are chosen right away on things like Twitch. Even Team Liquid, Rise was taken way early on. The guy never uses it, but it still exists. And that's why I waited so long to make a Team Liquid account. I didn't make one until like 2010 or 11 for some reason. But anyway, yeah. So I had that name for a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just whenever I sign up somewhere, I'll get that. I'll try to sign up early in the life cycle of the website, which never happens. You can't predict that. I was an idiot, and so I have too generic of a name, and then I had to come up with a way to make it memorable still on YouTube, and that's how I ended up with SC2GG Rise, because Rise was obviously taken on YouTube, and yeah. Really interesting story, I know, but that's some odd history that nobody cares about. All right, so that Nexus is complete. We are mining off the two bases at this point. And the Zerg has opted to go for a third base across the map, as is Zero's favorite build, so herO clearly has a very similar feel for it. And on Circuit Breaker, it works out pretty well, especially across positions on the same hemisphere of the map. Southern versus northern. Definitely a good way to go. Alright. So, no real action here for a little while. I would imagine the lair is on its way. And we'll have to see... really, the question of the game here is very simple. Can Shuttle get a third? If he can get a third... he can win this game. If he can't get a third, I just don't know. I just don't know. herO's the guy, by the way, who was he's got like 500 APM or something ridiculous. Or actually, who's ZvP? Oh, there's herO. Okay, so by herO. He's in the 400s right now, 430 or so. But this is I love mentioning this because it's such a good example of, if he was so good with that APM, he would be one of the top players in the world. But it just goes to show that you really need solid decision making. And I know this isn't, groundbreaking stuff that I'm blowing your mind with, but you really do. It highlights how important decision making is. When guys like White would get to like A- on iCup, or even A, with 140, 150 APM, it's crazy. Yet these guys at 430, they would crush White for sure. But still, they get demolished by guys in the 200-300s at the real top of their game. Although Flash and Jaehoon, I think, have really high APM too, for that matter. We do have a run by here. I should probably mention that. Zerglings are going to get inside the main base, but a couple of Zealots are able to head them off with the pass. There is a cannon in the main base as well. That'll defend against both Muta and Ling. And so, actually, Shuttle's not in a terrible position here. Oh, that sucks! He lost that Corsair in the air. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Hey, click decision. Thank you for following the pub. You are number 280. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Cheers. That's not me. That's the stream, I swear. Good to have you here. Was White APM really that low? Yes. Actually, you can on YouTube. Let's see. I don't know if he had it on YouTube or what he had it. White Brood War, FP VOD. Yeah, I mean, you can watch. Let's see. I'll give you a link here.
Alright, hey guys, it's well played.
Alright, this isn't what I wanted to actually send you. Never mind. I'll save it for another time. I'll see if I can find some links, though. But there are FP VODs out there that White did. He did a Protoss series. He had a lot of games on Destination, maybe Fighting Spirit, a few others, where he highlights his iCup runs and stuff. He used to stream Brood War a long time ago, and a lot of people have this APM counter up here in the top right, and he certainly utilized that as well. And you could just see it when he played. It just wasn't crazy like, these guys are twitchy when they play. It's smooth, but it is twitchy, like how quickly they're switching screens and things like that. And White was much more deliberate decision making, a lot of point and click, which I always found interesting. Now, of course, there were a lot of players who had much higher APM that were foreign. A lot of the EG guys were well into the 200s or so, but they would lose to White. So again, it just shows you the importance of decision making. Zealot's pushing in hard over here, by the way. They are gonna break through that sunken line. Down to one sunken over here. Zergling's coming in from the backside, but there are still 6 or 7 Zealots. They should be able to clear out that last sunken and get a couple of drones on top of it. He's going to continue to reinforce here. He is going to take out that last sunken, and now he's going up against drone Lings, and it looks like the Lings are going to be able to win out on this. And he may even have to run back with the other 2 Zealots that are joining the fight here. No, instead he's going to get in a good position, and he's actually going to go to the main base and see if he can pick some stuff off over there. Overall, the harassment is limited in nature. Drones are a little bit below 34. Alright, he just made a few more to try to equalize here. And remaking those sunkens. There's some value in that too. But a lot of Zealots were lost in the process of making that happen. A lot of Corsair out of the field, though. And I like that attack overall. I really do. Putting a lot of pressure on that expansion. And he ran up into the main, which wasn't really the main, because that was the expansion base. So that's worth mentioning, too. He may have a couple of Zealots that I think just got taken out in the bottom left. And so really, he put pressure on. He didn't really kill many probes or drones. SCPs. He didn't really kill many drones there. He did force a response in making 3 more sunkens. So there's the expenditure there. But overall, I would say Zerg got the better of that exchange. Now, it may delay a little bit any push out, but at the same time, he delayed his own push out with Templar and Flapjack and Hookers. So, really, I gotta say, I still think herO's in a really good position here. And I still think Shuttle's the one who's got to make something happen, which, again, is very common in PvZ. Now, we do have a couple of Templar out on the field. We also have Lurker Tech completed as we see some morphing in the front door. You'll notice that they always do that where they morph it outside the front door. And that's typically because they've blocked off and only Hydras can actually squeeze through the buildings. So if you want your Lurkers to be defensive, it's fine. But it doesn't get you too far. Alright, so we got 50 probes, or drones, versus 44 probes. I thought they were just equal a second ago, so he must have just made those. And we've got Corsairs are trying to take down as many of these Overlords as they can. It looks like they're going to get a whole bunch of them at the expense of 1 or 2 Corsair. That's a pretty good trade, actually. I would say that was worth it. And Lurker begin to make their way out, doing a lot of damage against those Zealots. They are speed Zealots at this point, so he's almost able to take one out over there. But he's definitely got to get an Observer out soon. Now the problem is the range of the Lurkers are pretty good, and they may be able to take out that Forge before he can actually finish the whatever's upgrading there. I hope he clicks on it. I'd like to see what it's at. And yeah, there is no Observer. Nothing. One Storm drops down. Is he able to take it out, though? I don't know if he did. Don't look like it. Oh, we hear another one. Very low Lurkers. That time he'll take it out. So he's going to be able to stave that Forge for a while. But man, that is the worst feeling, having to use a single Storm or 2 Storms on a single Lurker. I hate that. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It looks like that Forge is going to go down, but it is done upgrading. So Protoss looking for a bit of a timing attack here with the recently finished upgrade. Because he's got +2 weapon attack. That's going to allow him to take out Hydras pretty quickly. He's also trying to take out a lot of these Overlords. He is going to get a lot of them, but he loses a couple of Corsairs in the process as well. And now there is finally an Observer out on the field. So that'll help him. Eventually, anyway. But it looks like herO is not down to give him to let up on the pressure over here, and more Hydras are joining the fight. Something's going on in the top left, or the top left shuttle space. It's probably just a couple of Scourge, actually. A lot of hatcheries. A lot of hatcheries. You can see he's going to transition into Hive Tech soon. Probably go for the Filer Mound. Oh no. No, probably going to go for Ultras, actually. Especially going on 4 bases. 5 bases is where Ultras become really viable. And you can see he's up to 22 Hydras versus 19 Dragoons. 28 Hydra. Every time I say that, he just jumps up a few more. And it's really the point in the game where Protoss has to start looking for a 3rd base here. If he doesn't get something going soon, he's just going to get outclassed and outpaced by the economy of scale of herO. He is going to go in, though, on that front door of the Zerg player, but he's going to be caught in a major pincer. Will he be able to defend? Those Lings actually look like they had crack upgrades already, too. Maybe it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. And this force kind of looks a little weak, actually, for the Protoss. See if he can make something happen here, though. It looks like he's going to push in. He's got a lot of Templar here to try to deal with Hydra and Lurker. He's still taking a lot of casualties, though, from those Lurkers in the front line and the mid lines here. It's not super deep, but it's enough to do some damage. First Storm goes down. He storms his own Corsair as well, unfortunately. Loses the other one to a set of Scourge, and now loses an Observer. That's unfortunate. And that Lurker is doing work. He's only got 1 kill, but he's been pecking away for a while. And this is slowly getting picked up and picked off and cleaned up by the Zerg player. Forced to start making some Archons here. But Protoss really doesn't appear to be getting anything done with this attack. More Zealots are going to join to reinforce. But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of Hydras coming across the map as well. Although some of those might be Lings. And they are not going to actually capture the Zealots before they're able to run across the map and join the rest of that force. But alright, it's a mixture of Hydra Ling. And he's once again picking off those front buildings. It looks like he is able to get a hatchery. Not a huge win. I mean, it's nice to get hatcheries and all. But keep in mind, herO's got like 8. So that's not going to be a game changer either. And this force is dwindling quickly. He's down to just a couple of Dragoons and Zealots here. And he's on the enemy team territory. He's at the away team. Or he is the away team, I guess. And that's never a good place to be in. Especially if your force is petering out there. He does finally decide to go for a third base, but he's not going to be able to defend this. I mean, these Hydras are going to be able to take out the Zealot force here if they reinforce a bit. Actually, alright, Protoss able to push that back enough where he may be able to secure it. Looks like he's probably going to make a ton of cannons too. And he's not mined out yet, but he is going fast. He's got to get that going. So we're going to see the hive, and what did he click on? Was that another hatchery or the Ultralisk cavern that we were talking about earlier? At the moment, though, we are going to see Hydralink. I'd like to see the upgrades for the Zerg, but he keeps picking big groups. 1-1. All right, so we do have 1-1 on the Lings. And whenever you see melee upgrades, there's a good chance that that's going to mean Ultralisks later in the game. So, alright, let me update the follower goal here while we wait for something to happen. We're up at 280. Awesome. Thanks to everybody who followed. Don't forget, we're giving away the mouse pad at 500. What could Protoss typically take a third in this matchup? It's tough. I would say what we're seeing here is typical. They have to have a big enough force to push out and put enough pressure on and have a big enough of a win where they relieve enough map pressure to do so. And that's kind of a roundabout answer, but it's I mean, you can see them sometimes rush for one if it's got like a nice ramp that they can easily defend. And now they've got a common choke point or something like that. You can see he's also going for a fourth. I don't know if he's aware of that lurker back there or not. But once you get the third, you can move up to a fourth and a fifth much easier. The problem is that third, because Zerg is really strong early on with that 3-base, 4-base build. They could just put so much pressure on, and if your units get caught out, it's just the end of the game. I mean, there's no coming back from it. Because you can't secure a third, you lose too many forces. And basically, Protoss do what Terran used to do, or still do for that matter, where they turtle up. In like a TVP, you'll watch a Terran turtle up to like 150, 160 food count often before they push out, because that's when they just get really strong. And you can see here, he's got like a control group of Zealots, a control group of Dragoons, 4 or 5 Templar, maybe an Archon or 2, and when he does that, he's able to put a lot of pressure on Hydra Link, that any of those units will be taken out by a single storm. And when that happens, ooh, that lurker got some kills. 10 kills! Oh, man. Plus 2 range attack on those, by the way. 123 Zerglings out on the map. That's pretty crazy. That's a little scary. Archons will help a lot. They'll be one-shotting them, which is nice. There they are. A lot of lurkers, too. 17 lurkers. Wow. So, or 16. I guess he finally took the one out of his expansion. We do have 21 Zealots, 8 Dragoons, 8 High Templar, some amount of other units that I didn't really pay attention to. And the Nidus network is in place. So it's going to be difficult for Protoss to totally take out a base with no reinforcements. A couple of free lurkers, potentially. Nope. Nope, just the one. Nope, never mind. He is going to get a couple here. Why would you storm a single lurker like that? That seems like such a waste. Maybe just rushing a little bit here. Not that he is rushing, that he's rushing. Little difference. One likes vodka, the other likes cheese. Ha! One of the more clever things I'll say today. Alright, so we've got a pretty big force of cracklings here. Ooh, beautiful storm, though. That's going to really thin it out, especially the second group. Oh, my gosh. That was really solid. But the Lings keep on coming. Oh, my God, it's like the Matrix when they're just coming in and peeling through them. And the guy's sitting there with the Gatling gun. He's like, I'm trying to take them out. But it's not enough. Just not enough gunpowder to take out all of them. And that base is compromised on top of a major Plague on the main force of the Protoss, which is going to seriously weaken his position here. Now it looks like he should potentially be able to defend that 3 o'clock. No! Reinforcements are probably going to stop that from happening. Cannon's doing their best, and we are going to see a Zealot drop here, but the Zealots are not going to be enough, and he is going to lose this base. There is no way that's going to hold up unless he defends like this. So there's a big chance of it holding up. But Zergling's continuing to stream across the map, and again, with all the Zerglings he's making, I'm expecting we're going to see Ultras soon. But I haven't even noticed an Ultra Cavern yet, so maybe that's not a true statement. He is going on 7 bases, though, for the Zerg at this point. 8 bases, actually. Or maybe I can't count. Maybe it is only 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it is 8. Now, we do have Dark Swarm complete, and they are going to start attacking in on those Archons, which is fine against Lings. It's the Lurkers that pose the issue, because the Splash doesn't actually hit them. And so Storm is the only weapon that he's got against it. And the forces continue to go down here. Crackling's on top of the cannons in the back line at this point. And it looks like desperation time for the Protoss. More units coming in to try to defend against it. They're surrounding the Nexus as best they can. And they probably took out, it looks like they were able to take out that Lurker down there. More Storms going down. Nice Storm. Was able to hit the majority of those Hydras, weakening them all, I would say. But he lost all of his Zealots. So the pressure continues on. And it looks like this attack has really petered out, but you can see how much the Protoss is struggling. Losing that economy was a pretty big deal. He's essentially on 1 mining base. GG. Coming from Shuttle in game number 1. And now it's going to try to make me watch Call of Duty again, isn't it? Yeah, just look at the resource count there. Massive. Massive. Alright, guys. We got 1-0. I don't know if that's what that stands for or what. I got the hiccups. I gotta mute for a sec. Before I start hiccuping.
여러분들 죽인다뇨. 죽인다 진짜 뭐예요 이 와중에. 제 얼굴 그렇게 보기 싫어요? 죄송합니다.
Alright, it should be good now. Alrighty, game number 2. Game number 2. Let's do this. We are 1-0. herO versus Shuttle. Sorry. Alright, let's just get into the game. I don't need to listen to this guy's jibber jabber. We got games to play and watch. What's going on, small dog? Good to see you, man. Drink more or less. Dude, I drank a lot last night. And you were there for it. We played Heroes of the Storm until about 2:30 in the morning. And I was hurting this morning when I woke up. I drank a pint of Gatorade. Actually, a pint. How much did I really drink? I don't know. One of the bigger bottles in its entirety. I had sushi for dinner, which helps absorb the remnants of alcohol. Or at least it helps in my brain as a placebo. Alright, so we got on La Mancha here on the bottom left. Once again, the Zerg player in yellow. And this time in the bottom right, we have Shuttle, the red Protoss. And Shuttle down 1 game. He's got to see if he can get back in this. So far, we have not even seen a Protoss take a game off a Zerg player. And we may not. He may have a second sweep here. I don't know what's going on. He's looking at just stream settings, I guess, testing him out. But yeah, that's where he's at. Oh, for the hiccups? Oh, for hiccups, I just drink continually so that you can't hiccup, because when you swallow, you can't hiccup. And they go away in about 10 seconds or so, usually. So that's my method. Everybody has a different method. That's mine. So in the meantime, harass with Corsairs and Reavers. Well, you don't typically see Reavers, Mr. Click Decision, and the reason for that is Scourge. Scourge are the scourge of Reaver play. I mean, if you think about it, you pick them up in a shuttle, and then what happens? So you go Reavers when you have the option for mobility and with shuttles, and Scourge are faster, especially against slow shuttles. Speed shuttles, I think, can outrun them pretty easily, but it takes 2 to pop one. And if you either lose all your reavers and units inside the shuttle, or you drop them, and they're sitting ducks, and you can just send like a single ling in at a time, or whatever. It's fairly easy to deal with them though. And as a result, they are very cost ineffective, unless the Zerg doesn't have a spire for some reason. But that's why you'll almost always see a spire after the lair for at least Scourge to deal with Corsair and Reavers or whatever. And that's just how the meta's evolved over the years. You like that rainbow I made? And that's part of the reason why you see Scourge play and Spire play in pretty much every ZvP these days. It's so strong against the different combinations of units that Protoss can try to throw in tech-wise early on. So instead they have to go for the extended tech tree, which include things like Templar and Corsair and Dark Templar and all that other stuff. So, what's going on, Sunshine Recorder? Good to see you, man. Rise is in the house. In the basement of the house, actually. And having a good time tonight. Nursing a hangover. Getting through it, though. With the help of you guys. And some Brood War. Alrighty, so we are going to see the standard third base going down. Lair is underway here. About halfway done. And Protoss has opted for a single cannon to defend. I like the placement. A little bit further back from the barracks there. Barracks gateway. It helps for... I mean, you're going to... So, what that helps for is it's hard for Hydra to go pick that off without running all the way up to the gateway. Single Zealot gonna chase back that Zergling for the short term. I look so different without my beard. I know. I shaved, and I can tell you why now. Because I'm quitting my job on Monday. Which means I have another job. And I shaved for interviewing purposes. Because that's how professionals do it. In case you didn't know, you should shave and be clean shaven when interviewing for like a real like salary job, unless you're a hipster and gonna work in a hipster environment. And I mean that in the nicest of ways, honestly. Like there's definitely places where you can get away with it no problem, but typically that's the way to go. So I think I'm gonna grow it back actually, even for the summer, because I think I look better with it. Maybe I'll take a poll the next time we've got a lot of people. Should I keep the beard or shave it? That'd be the weirdest poll ever on a Brood War stream. But yeah, I'll probably go back to it next time I have a sufficient break. And after I've worked at the company for at least a few months, so people aren't like, all right, this guy's a weirdo coming in and just growing a beard on his first week on the job. It's kind of weird. Gotta make a good first impression, you know? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Most people do look different without beards. I would agree. I want to put the chat window here. I wonder if I should do that I don't even know if I can do that. Let's see if I can do that. I want to add a window capture. That's not what I want to do. I'm not going to do this now. There's no way I'm going to figure There's no way to figure that out. There's probably a way to do it on T-board. Let's see. IRC widgets. I don't want IRC. Miscellaneous. It's probably just a plugin I can download. Oh, channel panels. Oh, that's not what I want. I'll mess with it later. I'm going to put chat down here on the window over here, I think. It's always nice for people in YouTube watching this. They can get a better feel for who I'm actually responding to and stuff. Fuck beards? What do you mean fuck beards, man? Beards are the best! Your face itches all day and you look old. I am old! I'm 32! What do you mean you look old? I don't know. I never thought it was too itchy. It is. You know what it is? It is for that in-between stage when you have an immature beard, and then once it like fully blossoms, and all of a sudden it's no problem. Real men have beards, yeah. Small Dog's got a pretty massive one, I think. compensating possibly. Don't know. Not suggesting anything like that. Alrighty, so anyway, we got some Corsairs out on the field. Let's get to the game, and they are going to try to put some pressure on, but the Spores are going to push them back pretty quickly. In low numbers, it's not worth really attacking into a couple of Overlords with Spores pecking away at you for the amount of time that it'll take to actually take out the Overlord. 6 Zealots wandering around to the third base here. It looks like he's going to try to get one soon. But we are on 4 bases here for the Zerg player. This is where it gets scary, man. And you can see that is going to be incredibly difficult to break through. He's going to need a lot of Dragoons and possibly Reavers. Did I say Reavers? I said Reavers. But that's way late game. I mean, typically you won't see Reavers until they're already at the max supply counts. Wow! Wow, he just forces himself right on top of that Evo chamber. Decides maybe not the best commitment to make there. Instead opts for the third base, and that's where he's going to put his resources. I think that's a good call. I don't know if he'll be able to secure it, though, long term. Those ramps are, they're not super wide, but it's wide enough for a lot of Hydras to run down there real quick. I'll be curious if he goes for like a pylon block in front of it. Might not be a bad idea. And yeah, cannon's going down, and hatchery's going down. So both players basically macroing up still at this point. We've got another couple minutes before the real action starts to hit. I'm not going to read that line. Can't do it. If I read that line, I'm going to have to like bleep it out on YouTube. 'Cause apparently I can say fuck, but I can't say that word. You ever play fastest maps? Yes, sir. Fast money noob yourself. It's all good, man. Doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. Just got done playing some games. I actually just loaded Brood War up for the first time and got it working about a week ago. And it is so hard. I was auto-rallying my units to the mineral patches, and the probes weren't mining, and I was like, what the hell? I forgot that there's no auto-mining. I've been playing too much StarCraft 2, obviously. It's a pretty good time, though. What was real crazy was the latency was killing me. I was playing, and the control groups, I mean, it's crazy just having how many control groups you've got to have, and at some point you give up on them. But you really can't give up on them, because if you give up on them, it's incredibly difficult to send like 48 units. I had Zerglings all over the place, and I'm trying to send like 12 at a time, and they're going in piecemeal. I'm like, damn it, you're just getting eaten alive by cannons. I was playing on Big Game Hunters with a friend. Not fastest maps, but you know, not too far off. Alright, so a lot of Hydras out on the field at this point. Looks like we are going to see some pressure finally from the Zerg player. He feels confident, he pushes in. There are a lot of Templar, but he picks one off. He's going for the second one. I think he got a second one. He loses a lot of Hydras in the process, but it is worth it for the amount that a Templar can take out. And there's a Storm finally. Only gets about 6 or 7 Hydras, though, for his troubles. And I almost wonder if Storm didn't complete just in time yet or not. Kind of interesting. Not sure. Could be. But what's worth mentioning here is the Protoss is up on 3 bases, officially mining with 3 bases, and so Shuttle has a chance to really win this game. And this will be the first. This would be the first Protoss versus Zerg we see won for the Protoss. What's interesting about this is it's very rare for a Protoss to win early, whereas a Zerg can easily win. Well, easily, they can more often win early than Protoss can beat Zerg. Big Zerg force though, so it's still a scary spot to be in for sure. For sure. And it looks like he's going to try to pull the old runaround, heading in the back door. Not sure if he'll actually get through or not. Shuttle not clenching up quite yet. What is going on? Did he lose his third base while I wasn't looking? Oh, it's covered by the banner. I'm like, what the hell happened to the Protoss's third base? It's down here. That's funny. Muta out on the field, trying to pick off the DT or the High Templars. They do exactly that. Storm goes down. It looks like he's going to be able to pick off a lot of these Muta as well. All of them are going down except for one. All of them go down, actually. And now he's trying to hit him with the rest of these Hydra. He does have some Storm ready, though, so he's not out of this yet. He clears out the vast majority of them, actually. He should be able to clear out all of them. And I think, overall, this is a fairly good trade for the Protoss. So this could be Shuttle's game here to win. Finally. A lot of Zealots here trying to reinforce. Speed Zealots on the way, and they are going to engage right on the faces of those Hydra. It's funny, whenever you watch like the videos of or the cinematics, you always have units running away from Hydras. The Zealots are the heroes that run in and face off one-on-one against those massive alien buggers. It's awesome. Why don't you ever see it? Probably because Zealots are incredibly difficult to make models of compared to like a Dragoon. That's my guess anyway. And they don't really make sense when you really think about it, scaling them up. I don't think it would look right. So, worth mentioning again, herO is only on 4 bases. Only as in he should be... I'm surprised he's not working on a 5th and 6th at this point. But I don't know if he feels comfortable. He's putting the pressure on again. This time we'll see if he runs in with Muta. Looks like that's not going to be the case. We do have some Corsair to help protect as well. And Protoss is pushing in this time for real. For realsies, but he's getting pincered. Very nice flank set up by the Zerg player. He gets a pretty solid surround. Beautiful Storms right there, though, taking out a lot of Hydra. Look at all those Hydras taken out. But it looks like that's going to be it for the Storm. Oh, wait, he's got another one. Gets another pocket of them. Takes out his own Observer in the process, or at least maybe got picked off by the Hydra. One of the two. And the Protoss force is still pretty strong, actually. Still pretty strong. Working on another weapon upgrade. I'm guessing he's at +2 at this point. Yeah, he is. There it is. And we've got the same upgrades for the Zerg. And Hydras are running in for taking out that 4th base. But they are going to get it for sure. Or maybe not. Oh, he does get it. All right. At least forces to cancel. And this is going to be cleaned up. But unfortunately, the Templar are not with the rest of the group, and he loses them unnecessarily. I think that was a bit of a misplay. I mean, I know they're slow and would take forever to really stay with the group, and then the Hydras just get away. They are finally going to get officially pincered, though, and the rest of them will be taken out. So that'll do. That'll do, donkey. 4th base going to go back up again for the Protoss. We have yet to see a 5th base come down for the Zerg. And this is where Protoss starts to hit stride, right about now. You'd say, well, didn't he hit stride 10 minutes ago? Well, no. Once that 4th base is up, he's good. He's really good. Zerg desperately trying to defend here. Or keep the pressure on, I should say. But it looks like... he's struggling to do so. He is going to force a cancel once again. That delay is pretty good. Pretty good thing to make happen. And Protoss just not as flexible in running around the map like that. Where's that probe to rebuild? This time he's dedicating a lot of his forces to actually defend here. And as a result, he's going to take some pressure on at that 6 o'clock location. And he's forced to make a decision. Does he base race? Does he defend? Try to do both? Looks like he's trying to do a little bit of both here. Those mutas are very troublesome at the moment. The cannons are small and weak. Not many of them. And they all go down. And those probes are in danger. But it looks like he is going to defend this. Although at the cost of a lot of cannons and some probes. And once again trying to put down that third o'clock base. And he does that by lining it with cannons and hopes for the best. I think he'll be able to get it up this time. That's what she said. Yeah, he's got plenty of cannons going at this point. Big force in the middle. Beautiful job capturing or able to hit those Muta. All of the Muta just, oh, you can hear them popping left and right. I think he got 1 or 2 Templar out of that. Probably not actually worth it. And this battle is going to be in favor of the Protoss again. Big force, though, heads over to the 3 o'clock position, and he is able to clean it up. Oh, maybe not. Beautiful storm, actually. Might be able to clean it up at the last second. Reinforcements here going towards the middle to try to defend this some more. There are still Hydra, though, at the 3 o'clock, and he's going to take out that Nexus if he doesn't get reinforcements in quick enough. Looks like he is, so he's going to force or focus down the probes instead. And this is terrible, though, for the Protoss. He's losing his probes. They're not mining at the main anymore. He is mined out. We still have a big control group of forces over there at the top right. But Zerg's still on 4 bases himself. And he's going to peter out as well, as those Muta are expensive. The Hydra are fairly expensive. Not StarCraft 2 expensive, but expensive nonetheless. And he's losing them in droves to these beautiful storms that are capturing almost an entire control group every time. Hydra, or Muta once again popping out of the closet there. I don't know where that one came from. Picking off some more Templar. Templar, though, able to continue to try to defend here at the 3 o'clock, and that'll buy enough time to get the forces over here to take out the rest of those Hydra, but not before he loses a few probes trying to keep him off the Nexus. And I'm surprised he's not keeping a few more units dedicated here. Those additional Hydras are on the way. A lot of Templar out on the field. That's going to get scattered by an Overlord, and we may have some Templar hunting coming up soon. You see, he's mining out slowly. He's still got some minerals at his main natural, but it's getting low. It's getting low, so this is only going to be able to continue for so long. And at this point, you can see the Zerg feels compelled to make something happen. If he is unable to do so, he will lose the game. And we'll go into a game number 3, one way or the other. It's a best of 5. So, guaranteed at least a game of 3, or game 3. Big force going at the 6 o'clock. Very nice bouncing here, going from one base to the next. Great storms, though, again, taking out a lot of those units. And does he get one more storm off? I think he bought enough time for the Archons and conga line here of Templar to make their way over. Will he be able to keep most of his probes, though, is the real question. I think he does. And at the same time, he's starting to push out on his own. He's got Templar, Dragoons, and Zealots pushing out here. But that base is about cleaned up at the 6 o'clock. So Zerg should be able to defend this without too much trouble. Still a Hydra there causing some amount of trouble. And, oof, those 3 Muta may just completely wreak havoc here on that huge Templar force. He's going to have to make some Archons, I think. I think they're hinting at the potential pincer. What are you doing, dude? Make Archons. There you go. That might be a good storm target right there. Looks like that Archon might get taken out before he actually is able to do anything. Mining out is occurring, by the way, at the main base of the Zerg. A lot of Muta at this point, though, but Archon's quite good against them. Templar, obviously, quite good against them if they can get a good storm on them. I think it takes 2 storms to take a Muta out entirely. We're mined out at both the main and the natural for the Zerg at this point. But he's done some really solid economic harassment and damage here at this point. Yeah, he is fully mined out. But still, I feel like Protoss is ahead. And herO has yet to get a 5th base going. And we're getting late into the game at this point, guys. I mean, he's basically all in. And you can see he's heading over to the 6 o'clock again. Nice Muta play trying to clean up those Templar. Unable to do so. More storms going off. This could be it for the Zerg as he loses most of his forces. He's not going to be able to reinforce the way that he has been for the past, I don't know, 10 minutes of attacks he's kept up here. He is getting a couple of probes in this attack, but it is not enough. And the Dragoons are outnumbering him, and I think this is it, guys. This is going to be GG for herO. Shuttle has weathered the storm. He's once again pouncing back to the 6 o'clock. But there is a Templar there that gets a really nice storm off, pops a whole bunch of Hydras, and GG coming from the Zerg. So we've got our first win, actually, for the Protoss. Any Protoss against Zerg. Which is a little surprising. A little surprising, actually. Didn't think it was going to happen. Alright, so let's move into the next game right away here. Here it is. And off we go. We're not even going to wait for these guys this time. What is he listening to?
네, 상금 연승자가 3세트입니다. 현재
Alright, here we go.
연부도 게임.
Right into the game.
시입니다.
All we missed was a split. I think you guys can handle that. I certainly can. We're on Fighting Spirit here. Once again, same positions as the last map. Bottom right, we've got the Protoss player Shuttle.
마지막 세트가
Bottom left, we've got the Zerg player herO.
미리 BJ한테 다들
Why do they have the Zerg as 2-0?
유명 아마 유명 중프로 다 홍보하세요.
What just happened here?
초고수 연승전도 합니다.
It should be 1-1.
마지막이 아니야. 네. 초반이기 때문에
It should be 1-1, right?
중간에는 와고 깔 일 없을 거예요.
It's not just me?
네, 지금 앞마당 쪽에
Alright, we'll find out. Anyway, herO definitely GG'd last game, so it's unlikely that that's correct. I think it's 1-1 right now. Looks like we're going to see, unless I happen to be on the wrong game, which I don't think I was. I was going in order. I guess it's possible. Whatever. Wait a second. Wait a second.
공통점이 있어요. 김명훈 선수 오버로드도 원서치 한 번도 못 했고요. 한 번 했네요. 전세트.
I'm really confused.
토스는 정찰 3번 다 원서치예요. 서킷에서 원서치, 전세트 라만차에서 원서치.
Why does it feel like I'm watching the same exact game as last game? Let me move this over here so it doesn't spoil anything and look real quick. I apologize. Game 3. Alright, it is game 3. 1, 2, 3. No, alright. I don't know what's going on. I think they just have an error themselves, so we'll go with it. Alrighty. And off we go. Back into the game for real, guys. Sorry about that. Just massively confused for a second there. This is game 3. It should be 1-1 even series. And we will have someone that comes out ahead after this. So, to start, we've got a fairly... Hey, happy bunny time! Thank you for following the pub. Welcome to the team. Cheers. Oh, dude. Are you serious? You might be right. That would explain why I thought I saw it already.
와, 미쳤어요. 상대가 정신 나간 짓 하니까 여기서 이제 승부 봅니다. 와.
You are very observant. Thank God for chat. Someone give this guy a prize. Oh, I love you. I love you, Kung Piss Tank. I love you. Saved me like 20 minutes of my life. It is 1-1. How did you see that? Oh, because it said on the YouTube video, didn't it? See, this is why I need to do stuff live. Not because I like live better, but I need people to correct me so I don't make a fool of myself, although this is all recorded, so... A little late for that, I guess. That's alright. Only wasted a couple of minutes of there. So finally, we are on the right match here. They are playing on Fighting Spirit again, so it is the right map. But we've got Shuttle on the top left this time, and herO on the bottom right. How did I see? Maybe I'm dyslexic or something. Is that a thing? I mean, dyslexia is a thing, obviously, but would that cause the error in misjudgment? I don't know. Maybe it's schizophrenia. Who knows? Excuse me. Ooh. Sushi burp. Alrighty, so we are going to see a fairly standard start to things here, it looks like. APM's already up in the 400s for herO. He's a spammer. He's a spammer. He's just hitting the hotkeys. You know it. You know it. Keeping those fingers going, though, is actually surprisingly important. And we are going to see the Forge Fast Expand going up against the Hatchery, Quick Hatchery. Is it 12 hatch or 13 hatch? I always forget. StarCraft 2's got me thrown off with the 14, 15 hatches. Oh, it's 12 hatch. You can see it. He's on 11. Alright. We answered that question pretty easily. So, well, stream's lagging. Not my stream, their stream. Scout is down. He's got an eye full of what's going on in the Zerg base here. Sees exactly what he needs to do, so he's probably going to go for a Nexus next before making or wasting time doing anything else. try to stay competitive economically here, and that's exactly what he opts to do. Prior to throwing down a cannon, there's no risk there, so it makes more sense.
연승전 상금. 예, 제가 돈이 남겠냐고요.
Is that guy got beans in there or something?
어쨌든 여기서 이제
The musical
따라가고
fruit.
있는 부분이고요.
The more you eat, the more you
예, 그래서 푸드오브 돌려주면서 지금 스포닝풀까지
Fart.
돌려주고 있는 조일장 선수.
Alrighty, so looks like the other.
진입병이 있어가지고.
Wow. All right, so we have a variation here. We have 3 hatch inside the 2 bases. We are not going to see a cross map expansion this time, which is fairly interesting,
진짜 저거예요, 근데 상금.
and it kind of makes sense because if he goes cross map, he actually goes closer to the Protoss. So I could see doing this when you're on the same western eastern hemisphere of the other player, because if they want to put pressure on that, they have to go all the way across the map versus straight down, which is much closer. And that would make it much more difficult for the Zerg player to defend in either location that he could expand to, whether it's the top set half of the map or the bottom half of the map. That's kind of interesting. To me, anyway. And, yeah, scouting continuing on here for the Protoss. It looks like we are going to see a 3rd base go down, though, at this point. I wonder if that'll get scouted by the probe. Obviously, he's going to see the fact that the drone dropped off, and he chased him into that area, so it's very likely. So we might see a massive lane push here. This is something we saw in the QuanRo versus Bisu game back in the KSL, I think. Maybe it was SSL. I think it was KSL, though. Where he went just a bunch of hatcheries and pumped out lings early on. But it's kind of what QuanRo does, so it's not entirely surprising now, is it? And yeah, so we've got some time for things to develop here. Looks like that probe is not going to get taken out. Manages to squeak out of there before the damage is too much for him to bear. But he's dead, so never mind.
오늘 별풍선 좀 터졌어요, 고맙게도. 어찌됐든 여기서 이제 진로 생산해 주면서
Yeah, I'm probably going to call it quits after this game for tonight.
역캠임
My throat is a little dead from yesterday screaming all night long. So we'll continue on with day. So while we wait for this to heat up, the next thing that we're going to cast will be, let's see.
38입니다. 다른 왜 그래요? 여러분들 혓바닥이 너무 긴 건 어떡해요? 내가 혓바닥 긴 게
Day 3. Hwasin versus Iris. TVT. Those are some blasts from the past names right there. That'll be fun. And then after that, we've got the last day, day 4, of Jaehoon versus Mind. Mind's been performing pretty well lately, too. So, he obviously knocked out QuanRo in the KSL finals. Didn't go too well for QuanRo there. Good start, but a soft finish. There's probably a that's what she said joke in there as well. I'm not going to go for that one. Yeah. All right. So anyway, back to this game. We do have a lot of pressure coming in. It's exactly what we expected. There's a lot of Hydra actually pumping out. So he's going 4 hash Hydra and some Link support. And he begins to push down that front door and micro down those Zerglings and Zealots with Zerglings. And I think if he gets range, he'll be able to take out that Forge without taking any hits from the cannon. And it looks like he does have that. And more Lings and Hydra on the way. Or at the very least, actually it's just purely Hydra. Alright, no Lings there. I don't know if they have speed, actually. It's hard to tell. That's going to be enough to take out the Forge for sure. The barracks or the gateway is going down next. And the cannons are low enough in count where he can actually run in right now and pick off a couple before they all warp in. Is he going to do it, though? No! He does not. I don't know why he's going to be content with just getting a free pylon, I guess. This game could end quickly, though, if he decides to push in. He is dedicating... He is pretty much all in here. I mean, he can transition out, but realistically, he's all in. As soon as that pylon goes down, he'll open enough surface area, I think, where he'll feel very safe in attempting a attack here. He's got just a single Hydra pecking away at it for some reason. And that Overlord's going to give some additional vision. And here we go. He could use the Overlord to absorb some shots as well. Probe's getting in position. A lot of cannons going down. Holy crap. Both players realizing this is going to be a big attack here. And here we go. Zealots go down quick to the Hydra push. Cannon's doing some work, though, taking out Hydras. But look how quickly they go down once the Hydras are in range to just pop on them. And we see the first line of defense drops down. Second one under heavy fire here. He is losing them quickly. Hydras are dropping in number quickly as well. But Storm is obviously not completed yet. Down to the last 4 cannons. 3, 2. And it looks like he's going to push it enough here where the damage is done. We've got more Hydras pushing in behind this. I don't think this can be defended. And GG from Shuttle, bringing us to game number 4. And let's get right into that one. So it was a quick game. I thought this was a longer game. Maybe I was thinking of the last one that I opened up by mistake. Alrighty, game number 4. Here we go. I think this is it. herO and Shuttle, game 4. Alright, we got the right game here, guys. We did it. We did it. We did it, Reddit. We got the right game. 2-1 for herO, who will take us to a game number... Well, will they take us to a game number 5? Or will herO close it out here? At least, at the very least, even if that happens, you got to give it to our Protoss friend for not being wiped out completely and shut out. Should do a tutorial series where you train you. I'm not that good, man. You wouldn't get much out of me. I'm sorry. Be a terrible coach. A coach who's drinking on the sidelines. Yeah, you're doing good. Just keep that APM up. Don't forget, make more drones. Go for 40. 5. And a half. Alrighty, so this is Circuit Breaker for the... Or no, this isn't Circuit Breaker. This is the 2-player map. Neo... Oh... Damn it, I gotta look it up. I thought I knew it. I do know it. Neo Electric Circuit. I knew it had circuit in the name. Wait a second, that's not what we're playing. Is it? No, it's Match Point. I had the wrong name in my brain. My bad. It is Match Point. This is a 2-player map. You got that weird expansion that is really far away from the main. Choke is paired off with a little set of minerals there for whatever reason. It just helps you wall off with less buildings. And gives the non-Zerg player some additional options. Oh, Zerg too for that matter, but different options. So the Zerg player's been scouted. Shuttle knows what's going on. He sees the fairly fast pool, and he can expect to have some amount of pressure early on, which will slow down his forge fast expand a little bit. He'll have to make a cannon before he drops down that Nexus, I believe. Oh, no. If it's an overpool, you can make the Nexus first. If it's a 9 pool, you have to go for the you got to go for the cannon first. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what he opts for, which I think is safe. He's got plenty of time. He's just got to get back up to 150 here. Curious what's in those eggs. It is going to be drones, and so that was the right decision to make for sure. And he's going to be just fine here, guys. All right, that stream isn't. That's not me lagging again. You can see I'm not lagging. It's the our bro over here who's streaming stuff for us. And do have a third base going down on the top left for the Zerg player. Lair on the way as well. Once again, fairly standard going up against our Protoss brethren. And match point. I'm kind of curious what the favor is. Let me see. The favor. What do you mean favor? Who's favored is what I mean. Alrighty. When I opened that up, it did not go where I wanted it to go. So let's do this. Match. Is it match point? Like this? No! I typed it in the wrong or something. Match point. There we go. Alright, so see if we can get some statistics here. Flash vs. Hwasin was a good game apparently on it. Alright. There we go. Alright, so ZvP, 57% win rate for Zerg. 141 to 103 lifetime. Not too surprising. Map is just, I think it's difficult for Protoss to get that third going. The natural third is a mineral only, so you want to go, that's why the Zerg goes all the way down to the opposite corner, I think. I should probably verify that. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Plus, it's well, I could show you this. If you look, I'm going to point at the screen, and you're not going to see what I'm pointing at. But if you look, there's the ramp right next to that. So on top of having no gas, it's next to high ground, which means that different units could potentially harass you before you're really able to do much of anything. So yeah, it's not an ideal situation for sure. But it looks like the Protoss is going to go for the old Corsair DT build. Maybe going to get a free Overlord. I would think he'll get one free Overlord before Scourge make their way over there to pop him in the face. And probably getting, yep, there they are, a couple of Scourge on the way. And he'll probably scout out that third base, although I'm sure he knows it's there already. And that's exactly what he does. He's got to watch out for Scourge popping exactly as he flies over it. That's going to be close, actually. We'll see if he gets out of there alive. He does. And Scourge were not chasing him. Okay. Could have been dangerous. Psionic Storm is on the way. That electrocution effect. Gonna electrocute some Zerg. This is a good map to do it. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of ramps too. Surprising amount of ramps, more than you would think. Choke points where you can get hung out. Now, the center's fairly big though, and you can flank in the center. But with some good vision, you can usually protect against that fairly easily. Scourge is going to do some scouting inside the Protoss base while we wait for things to really heat up here. And yeah, some minor defense going into that third base. Now, I would think he'll take the mineral only soon enough too, just because he'll want the additional hatcheries. He may opt to just make them and block off a bit better at his natural expansion, but those are the options he's got. Back to match point. So yeah, there was let's see. Jaehoon and Stork was the other really big game here. DT makes his way in, gets a couple of kills, but nothing beyond that. Jaehoon versus Stork in the 2010 Shinhan Bank Winners League. Arguably the greatest game of its Pro League season/year. Long, exciting ZvP showing off many characteristics of the map. That's cool. Maybe we'll watch that sometime. Not tonight, though. Not tonight. This is going to be my last game, I think. Alright, so back to this game. We do have the Protoss going for the mineral only. It's much harder for the Protoss to expand beyond his means. Typically they group their expansions so they can continue to push out their forces for defense. Oh! Big loss here potentially. Sounds like he got a few probes in that exchange. As Muta make their way on the scene here. Oh! He got every Scourge with a Storm. That was beautiful. Beautiful. That's going to help. And that'll relieve the pressure instantaneously on that third base. So he'll be able to fairly confidently put the rest of that together. Now, in the meantime, alright, I was going to say he's going to be able to harass that, but keep in mind there's a lot of Corsair. So that's going to be fairly limited in what he can do with those Muta. Unless he wants to lose them. And then he can, you know, lose them. Archon hanging out the back of the mineral expansion only. Mineral only expansion. And we're switching over to Hydra here. Zerg is working on getting his fourth base at this point at that mineral only. That'll certainly help as he makes this push into Hydra. And it, you know, the Muta, I really like the Muta play. If he can pick off the High Templar, they're incredibly worth it. They really are. The problem is how many Corsair there are out in the field. I mean, he's taking out the Scourge before they can even run and kamikaze him in the face. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, eight Corsair is just strong. And he might be able to do some Overlord hunting. It looks like that's what he's going to opt to look for. It is fairly common to see some drop play on this map, because it's so hard to run out of your base and then back in. It's a very strong tactic for sure. And we do see speed overlords, which is indicative of drop, but also obviously really good against Corsair harassment. But I feel like because of the overlord speed at the time he got it, it's going to be for drop tech as well.
자원도 그렇게 많지가 않기 때문에
And he's going Hydra, so it's a very likely possibility at this point. Alright, so the beginnings of the Zerg pressure is on its way from the ground side of things.
야, 근데
A couple of more probe kills for those mutas. Down to 4. Not a crazy scary pack. They can't actually one-shot Templar or anything like that, but he's got enough.
물론 김윤중 선수도 많긴 합니다.
And really at this point, Protoss is just chilling. So, oh, actually he's not. He's heading out. He's going to start pushing out himself. This feels a little early for him to push out. I guess it depends how many Templar he's got. But he feels confident, and he's going for that expansion. My guess is he's going to go for the mineral only. I feel like that would be easier to take out than the base up in the top left, just because of ramps and whatnot. And he says no. Nay. No, he says yay. Yay. No, nay, nay. Nay, going back. Alright, he's not accomplishing much anything here. He's just going to lose a lot of Zealots here to Lurker Hydra, which is very strong, obviously, against Zealots. And Corsair, for that matter. And that's probably going to force the Protoss all the way back to his base. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Terran unit names for this Protoss matchup I've been watching today, but we'll call that out of practice or something. Hive tech on the way, so we will start to see some Defiler play, I would imagine. Possible ultras, I said that last time, never came to fruition though. And this is what we were talking about. So this is the point where that high ground is just too good. Although he is going to lose that one lurker. Good storm. Good storm. Takes out a lot of Hydra. If that was a second storm, it was not nearly as good. And really, I mean, the pressure is on that front door. Protoss is not comfortable enough to run out. He may use those Corsairs to get some additional harassment now that the Hydra are not defending the Overlords. But I don't think he's going to accomplish much with that. Yeah, he's just scouting around. But Shuttle's looking to move out. He's like, no, you can't hold me down. And he's going to meet a Zerg force head on here. But the Zerg force is small, and he's going to be forced to back off. But we've got a pincer here. Oh, beautiful dodge. Good job dodging that storm. And actually well-placed storm for that matter, too. Both players doing a pretty good job there. So there's some posturing going on. I mean, really, this is the spot that Protoss is thinking about moving out. But he's not really hitting that power spike yet. I mean, the third base is mining, but it's only affording him Zealots. If you look at where he's at, I don't know what I was going to point out there, actually. Never mind. It's been a long day. It's a decent Protoss force, though. I mean, he might be able to put out a quick win here. He's got to push out before Defilers pop out on the field, though. Once that happens, Dark Swarm's going to wreck him. I'm assuming he realizes that, of course, himself being a professional player that actually gets paid money to play this game. And he's going to run all the way around here, head in the back door of that top left base. And this is one of the cooler points of this map, is there's a lot of entrances and exits. So you have options for play like this more often than you might think. And the building setup here is actually beneficial, I think, for the Protoss. He can get a couple of good storms in. If he can actually get his Templar up, there they are. That's what I'm talking about. Pops a whole bunch of those Hydra. And a lot of reinforcements coming from the back end here. I hope he's got some storm ups. And oh no! Big tech switch to Lings. Now that all the Zealots are gone, this is really, really easy to take out Dragoons with Lings like that. And they appear to have the crack upgrade. So, Zealots coming in to try to reinforce here, but they're going up against crackling Hydra. And that is completely cleared out in the top left. Corsairs doing some work in the middle left in the meantime, but they're forced back as well. And herO is definitely in control of this game. He's going up to a 5th base. Protoss can't get a fourth. He doesn't even have a proper third. It's gasless. So to me, that says he's fairly far behind. And after that last exchange, I think he overcommitted, and now he's really in trouble of losing this game here. Oh, running right over a lurker. That sucks. He's going to get a couple of free link kills. That's always nice. Very heavy in the Zealots. Again, not a surprise at all based on that mineral-only third. But because of that, he's going to get microed to hell, as we see right here from the Zerg player. And it looks like Zerg's going to run all the way back home, but he's got a lot of lings to join the fight here. And this is what I was talking about, that control group practice right here in control. It's very difficult to just send units piecemeal in. You really got to just suck it up and hotkey them home. So Protoss is forced all the way back inside his base. And it looks like he's regrouping for another big battle here. Defilers are out on the field, so he may have missed his timing. This guy's talking Plague Goo. I don't think we're going to even see Plague Goo. Actually, you probably will. You'll probably see it on the Zealots. And then you'll see it on Dark Swarm. Looks like that 6 o'clock base is going to be found out and possibly taken out before anything can really go into work here. Not sure herO is too broken up about this. It looks like he's got some units coming in from behind this time, though. He does get a good plague down. He may have lost his Defiler in the process. And it's just a lot of units in general for the Zerg available to play with here. He's done a fantastic job of macroing up. And there you see the strength of that Plague Goo. He's just going to rip through those Zealots, especially with lurkers. And they're not even able to get close. Not even close. Storm gets a lot of them. And it actually clears out most, if not all, of the Zerg units. So he's not out of this yet. But it's looking scary. He's going to push him back. But look at that force, that blob that's just hanging out there that he's showing now. And again, he's got that Defiler. He can consume the shit out of Zerglings for real cheap, basically. And it all comes down to this. When is the Zerg going to move out? And is he going to drop? Or is he just going to go balls to the wall? Looks like Protoss is attempting to get a fourth here, the bottom right. Overlord's going down. Nice plague, though. Able to deter the rest of this attack. It looks like he's going to be able to take out the rest of those Corsairs. That's unnecessary for the Protoss, but at some point I guess you got to use them, especially if you want to free up some food count. And it looks like he did want to do that. I see he's at 170, 180 there. 172. So he can use that to make more ground forces, which is certainly helpful. All right, big battle coming in on the middle over here. Zerg just running right in. He's like, they're lings, man. I can't stop them. They just run. A-move them. Coming in on the bottom left as well. Coming in hot. Going to try to take out that force. And just honestly, the unit mixture for the Zerg is way, way more favorable. He's only got a couple of Zealots, period. And it looks like this could be it. That fourth base is going to go down. He's mining out. He's mined out at his main completely just now. He's almost mined out at his natural. And he's not going to be able to keep up economically against 4-base Zerg. He did manage to take out that 5th base, which is fantastic. But look at the main base. He's still got plenty of minerals there, whereas we're down to 2. And again, no gas at that 3rd. That sucks. And Zerg's not going to let up on the pressure this time. They are going in hot again. Good storms, though, taking out pretty much everything. Everything but that one lurker, anyway. 2 lurkers. And GG from Shuttle. He's going to call it here. He realizes that he's outpaced and outclassed. And that will be the end of his run. So we've got 2 Zergs moving on. I don't know if they'll face each other next or not. I guess this is our goodbye song. But that was a pretty GG in my opinion. For those of you on YouTube, games will be going up soon, so you'll see them when they're up. It's not like I can tell you to go watch them. Again, check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Follow the page there if you want to get stream updates. I don't know what this is. Oh, first person VOD. I'll talk while this is on. So yeah, next stream will be on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday again. And we're going to go through this entire series here. So this quarterfinals. Quarterfinals are all best of fives. Semis are best of fives. We've gone through 2 quarters. We've got 2 more. So we've actually got 5 sets of games left here, which will be plenty to keep us through this week as the games get longer and longer and longer. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I am. I'll see you there. And for you YouTubers, if you can, come check us out. At the very least, follow the Facebook page. I'll put the link in there, of course, and Twitter for updates. And I will see you in the next stream. GG!